Hi, I'm Nicole Spezio.
And I'm Jenny Donheiser. And
And
this
this is How
is
Are You
How We
Brainwashed?
Brainwashed.
Our podcast. Hi.
Nicole. It was so weird to have a week not potting with you.
I know. I know.
Kept looking at the calendar being like, I have nothing to do. I
When will
really
I
don't
talk to my
do
friend?
anything when I don't pot at night.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that I had to go to Disney World and abandon my friend.
And what was your rose, thorn, and stem? Is that a
Oh,
thing?
I feel like it's bud, but again, I don't know what that even
Bud.
means. What could that mean, do you think?
Something you're looking forward to? But that doesn't make sense. The
Um,
trip is over.
Well, I mean, there were so many roses and so many thorns. I think that this trip to Disney, the purpose of this trip to Disney was for my daughter's grandparents to
Yeah.
see their grandchildren at Disney World, to go to Disney with their grandchildren. And that was accomplished and like was lovely. And so for that, I am grateful. I also it was so like, they didn't love rides, it's they
Yeah.
were a little scary when, you know, Ursula's coming at you and and you can't, leave and you're trapped in the dark. It's a lot for a baby. So they didn't love rides. They
Sure.
also didn't love shows because who can sit for a 25-minute Frozen sing along? That's a lot.
Yeah. When you've never been to a show?
When you don't know who goddamn Elsa is,
Right.
it's
Also, they
asking
haven't
a
watched all this
lot.
stuff.
Yeah, so
I
they
didn't
don't
even think
care.
about that.
Oh my god, Jenny, it was Wild West. I let these kids do things I never let them do. I let them drink juice. I let them watch the phone. I did whatever. But yeah, so I would say that the part that they enjoyed the most was hugging characters, which was so cute. Just like
That's
them
really
being like,
sweet.
okay, my stuffed animals are alive and huge. And so I have lots of pictures of them just like snuggling up with characters. And that was so beautiful to just
Yeah.
see them like hug Pluto. It was so nice. It was really nice. The travel day was tough, I'll say.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
say both travel days were tough, as you
Oh, no.
might
Okay.
know. Yeah, so I'll say that the travel day down there, of course, they were like, where are we? They'd never been on a plane before, so they were like, what is
Yeah.
happening? Why have you trapped us? Our ears are popping. We can't do anything
Yeah.
about it. So they had a tough time.
Mm-hmm.
Had a tough time. I was like I said, doing anything I could to stop the crying. Like I was like putting my shirt over them and like being like, "Hello down there." Like I was like trying anything. For 5 minutes, Brooke decided that she wanted to like clean all of the seats with a napkin. I was like, yes, keep going. This is
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
Whatever
Mm-hmm.
you want to do, my friend. I was like, Miss Rachel, I downloaded things on my phone. And again, they were like, I don't care. But by the end, they did grow pretty attached to Miss Rachel because I was
Okay.
using her a lot. So yeah, so they cried a lot. On the way exiting the plane, a woman said to me, well, you tried, based on my children crying. And I at this point was so afraid. I was like, well, we didn't actually try. We did it. We're here. We're in Florida.
Yes, that's
I like
true.
immediately was just like, we didn't die. And then like when we got to
Yeah.
the hotel, our room wasn't ready. And like really all we needed to do was just go in her room and be a little quiet. And then I did get talked into going to a park, going to Epcot the day we
Oh.
flew in
Oh
for
my
for
God.
dinner in France. Bonjour. And I mean, they just had an epic meltdown because they didn't nap on the plane. They didn't nap on
Right.
the plane because they were like,
Right.
what is this tin can that you've trapped me in? The first night I sort of just walked them around France in the stroller crying, me crying, us
Oh.
all crying ultimately, just being like, this
Oh
is terrible.
gosh.
But we really just ultimately needed to sleep and shower. And that did
Yeah.
heal a lot of things. Was there a 4-hour period where one of my daughters lost her glasses in the park? Yeah. That was a tough one. That was a tough one. Me going through the Frozen shows aisles and seats every hour on the hour to check, like, maybe it's now at the 10:30 show, maybe it's still here at the 11:30 show. We did find the glasses, so that was great.
That's
Huge
good, yeah.
shout out to whatever kind soul turned in my daughter's glasses from the Frozen
Oh,
show to the Lost and Found.
yeah. Did you go on any rides you liked?
Thank you, Jenny. Yes, the my personal priority was to go on the Ratatouille ride because I had never
And?
been on the Ratatouille ride, and I went on it, and it was very fun.
Okay,
You get
great.
shrunk down to little rat size, and there was a sort of smell-o-vision aspect where you're,
Oh,
running around the kitchen as a rat trying not to get caught, and then you're at one point you're in the bakery and then it smells like bread, and that was so fun
okay.
to
Love
have it
what I'm
smell like
hearing.
bread. Yeah.
Yeah. Were the kids on that, or did you go solo?
They weren't on that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the thing too, is that the lines to try to make a child wait in a
Oh, yeah.
line.
What do? You do like a priority pass or whatever, or what
I mean, we
happens?
did not do that. We just were
Yeah.
like, we can only go on rides with them that are 15 minutes or less of a wait.
Right. Yeah.
Because we waited a half an hour for Pirates of the Caribbean, and that went very badly. That went
Right.
bad. They liked, like, some rides are out in the air,
Mm.
like an Aladdin's carpets, or more like a carnival vibe, like a carousel or stuff. That they liked more because it
Yeah. Yeah. But
wasn't.
going into like a dark
But going
river.
exactly, yeah, they
Right.
didn't
I'm remembering
love.
Pirates of the Caribbean now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
didn't love that, and I definitely had one daughter sort of who seemed to be charmed by the whimsy and magic of the music, and one daughter who did not. Oh my
Oh.
god. But I will say, like, so Brooke was like the mayor. She was just like going up to everyone and waving, and like it's so funny.
Aw.
And a stranger did give her an I love Jesus bracelet.
Oh boy. Okay.
And that was interesting. So, mhm. And
What
I
is that
said,
person doing there?
okay, so this was at the House of Blues bar in Disney Springs, and Brooke was literally going around to table, I mean, asking people for chips. Like, that's the other thing, is just like people are obsessed with giving them my children food. Is that should I be okay with that? Is that weird or bad? Or I mean, I'm just
Eh,
like, yeah, she's fine. Give her a
They
chip.
s
She likes
they
it.
see something, they want it, so
Yeah.
what can you
So,
do?
but I mean, she did not make any motions towards the Jesus bracelet. And it was like kind of like a one of those like live strong bracelets, like with a proverb or something.
Oh boy, okay.
Yeah. And so this man took it off and gave and put it on her. And I was like, oh, nice. And then we sort of walked around, and then we went back to that table, and I was like, okay, let's give the nice man his bracelet back. Thanks for letting us borrow it. And he was like, no, no, no. That's for her.
Whoa.
And I did leave it in Florida, and I don't know if that's a sin, but I just couldn't be taking a man's Jesus bracelet home on a flight.
Well, the rapture was supposed to happen while you were there. Are
I didn't
you
know until I looked at our friend thread, and it seems like we're all here. Now, they just
Yeah.
are doing this every couple years, saying that there's gonna be a rapture, and then there never is.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they find something somewhere that's like, "Oh, there's evidence that these numbers mean rapture," and I don't really I don't recall where the root of this one came from, but it
Mhm.
really like took legs on Christian TikTok, and everybody was saying it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. And then sort of yeah, it didn't happen. So,
People are
well,
foaming at the mouth for a rapture.
I-
It's crazy.
it would have been cool if it happened while you're in Disney World. Just
Well, I mean, it would have helped with those wait times on those lines.
that's true. I mean, yeah. Unless your children got raptured because they're innocent little babies. Although they're not baptized, so
I
maybe
always
not.
forget. Well, yeah. Is rapture do you want to be
You
raptured?
want to be
Okay.
raptured.
Awesome.
If you're left behind, you are a sinner,
Okay,
I
great.
believe.
Well, yeah, another year still here on
Another
earth
year
as
still
sinner.
here. Well, I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, I am glad I am back. Also, Florida's so hot. Can you believe it?
Oh God,
It's so
yeah.
hot. It's so hot.
Is it ever not hot there? Like, is there ever a time to go to Disney World that's better?
I don't think so. Yeah, there was like a one like air conditioned huge room that was like a baby rave essentially, where they like had a
Oh.
DJ and like the babies could just like run around in the AC, and that was a highlight for me too.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I got to sort of sit as they were just like
Let it out. Yeah,
gorge,
'cause
yeah.
I guess, yeah, you have to be so contained. Like, there's not
Exactly,
a
that's
lot
what they were
of
in the stroller, they were in line. That is the
right.
exact opposite of a
What
toddler
a
wants to
toddler
run
wants.
free,
Yeah.
baby. They do not
Yeah.
want to be confined. So I would say ultimately, if you're saying, Nicole, should I take 18-month-old twins to Disney? I'd say maybe wait a beat. But if that's what your family is doing for their journey, go with God.
Okay, I love it. Okay, so we should bring in our guest, but sort of we already recorded with our guest, so we should intro our guest.
Yes, we have a lovely organic start to the conversation with our guest, which you will hear. But just to give you the background, we have an amazing comedian on the pod today. He is going on tour in the UK. So to all our UK fans, maybe go check out the Hey Big Guy tour. He hosts a podcast called Walk With Me Here. He is so funny. Please welcome to the pod, Jake Cornell.
Nicole has to meet with her shaman after this. It's just to blow up your spot.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I have my shaman appointment.
She has a 2:30 shaman
I have a
appointment, so
2:30
we're
shaman,
gonna
so I got a heart out.
You got a heart out for the 2:30 shaman? Okay. Is it like healing or is it like future predicting? Like what is the modality?
Thank you for asking. It is healing. It is a lot of inner child.
Okay.
It's a lot of
Okay.
like visualization and like manifesting, getting in
Okay.
touch with the spirit of the world. Just
I love
normal
that.
stuff. Yeah.
You can't go too far into the woo-woo with me. Like
Okay, great.
I'll stay right there with you.
My psychiatrist did recommend this shaman, which is also a crazy sentence to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. That's amazing.
Yeah, she is. The psychiatrist also has recommended that I go on Ozempic. So this psychiatrist is sort of going out of the bounds of what we normally
That's
think
sort of
happens in
amazing.
psychiatry.
I'm obsessed with a psychiatrist being like, hey, some of the things you're working with are actually beyond science. Like we do need to move into the metaphysical.
We're gonna
And
need to
that's
bring
really-
a shaman in. Yeah.
We have to call in a shaman. I'm kind of obsessed with that. That's really amazing.
Yep.
It's
We have
crazy.
had the shaman. We have
The
had
shaman's been on the pod. Yeah, the
The
shaman.
shaman's been on the pod.
shaman
Wait, I
wrote
have
a
to listen
book
I'm
and,
going to be listening to that episode.
Yeah, the shaman wrote a book. Her spirit guide sort of gave her the information, and then the shaman was the vessel for writing the book.
Wow.
And yeah, I would love to hear if people like that ep. Please let us know in the comments.
Okay,
Um,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Excited
got
to
great
talk to
vibes,
her.
I have to say.
Well, then let's get this going so you can get out for the shaman at 2:30.
Okay.
We can't make a shaman wait.
Okay. Okay, Nicole, you want to bring in our guest?
Well, I mean, I feel like
I
kind of
haven't
like
been here. Oh my god, was I
we
not supposed to
already
be
have.
talking?
I think he's here. I think
Okay.
we're already talking about shaman. Okay, so Jake, do you see a shaman? Do you want mine's reference?
I don't see a
info?
shaman. I've seen an Akashic reader, and I've seen like maybe at this point 4 astrologers. I think and then I had a very intense psychic reading in New Orleans when I was there on tour. Very intense.
Whoa. Wait,
New
say
Orleans
more.
is the real deal. I feel like
Yeah.
that's
That one was like, I was like, this. That was also the only one I did in person. Like all the astrology readings were over Zoom, and then the Akashic reader was over the phone. But this one was in person behind a voodoo shop in like an alley, and it was like no joke.
wow.
And what's an Akashic reader? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's this. I love I love that this is not the part about me being brainwashed. This is like me being like, but no, it's the Akashic readers. It's this belief that like there's this dimension essentially where there's, what are they called? The Akashic records is the idea that there's this place basically where there's like a record of everything that has been and will be against like all of creation, and that your spirit guides essentially have access to it. And so then an Akashic reader is speaking with your spirit guides to get information from the Akashic texts to talk to you about your life. So it's a psychic, but that's like their way of doing it. And it
But
was, she
with
came,
the
I know like
database.
6 people
Yeah.
who have seen her, and it was very much like everyone, 4 or 5 people I knew had seen her and were like, she really changed my life, like really helped. And I was like going through it in like 2022 and kind of was like, whatever works, I'll take it. And so we did that. And it's so funny because she sends you, it's like a 2-hour long phone call, and it's like a phone call, but it's done on Zoom. So she can record the audio and then you get sent the audio after. And it's so funny because there's like a 20-minute lead-in process of like her explaining how it works. And then there's kind of like a ritual and a chant to like get you in. And then like the reading starts. It's like, okay, the reading has begun. She says literally one sentence and you hear me just quietly go, oh, and then and what I know happened in that moment is that I just laid completely supine on the floor for the next 2 hours crying from like the first thing she said.
Wow.
So it was pretty amazing.
Okay, yeah,
maybe
I'm
we need to do
interested.
that.
Yeah.
I did have Jake. Are you a Housewives person?
Salt Lake, devout.
Okay,
And then
okay.
historically New York, OG OC, OG Atlanta. But my current only watch is Salt Lake, and I will be obsessed with Rhode Island because I'm originally from Rhode Island. So Rhode Island's going to be huge for me.
Yeah.
Wait for Rhode
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah, me either.
I one year was gifted a coffee reading appointment with the woman who read Dorinda and Carol from New York's
Incredible.
coffee reading. And that one, I have to say, now it was during COVID, so she drank the coffee for me. And
So that's like at that point, it's like, hey, sweetie, like we gotta just push this to
Just
when the pandemic's over.
reschedule,
This
yeah.
can't be done.
yeah, a lot of what she was saying, I didn't totally, I don't know, she's saying a lot of stuff about surfing. I
Yeah. Okay.
just didn't really resonate.
That's
with me.
so funny. That's
Yeah.
genuinely. So she's like, so I'm gonna drink the coffee. It's still gonna work. It's like, how?
Right.
That's so funny.
I know. Well, yeah. Meanwhile, my shaman is in Florida, and she is gonna read my energy
Yeah.
over
That
the
works though.
phone,
I'm
and
into
that's
that.
fine.
Oh,
That
the
science
Akashic
is
reader was
fine.
in. The Akashic reader was like, I was like, where are you? And she's like, I'm at an artist retreat. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So you're also an artist, feeling the need to run. So that's like,
Oh yeah, Zoom. I mean, the pandemic, we did what we could. We Nicole and I we went to a mentalist show. on
Yeah, like a
Zoom.
magician.
I did
mentalist.
improv on Zoom, and it was one of the worst things that's ever happened to me. It was absolute. I did it exactly one time, and I was like, I will never do this again.
Yeah, that's tough to hear. What?
Was there an audience, or
Yeah,
was it just
yeah,
like
yeah.
for the love of the game?
It was because I was on Herald Night, which was like the main stage show at UCB.
Yeah.
And I think what it was like COVID hit in like February, March. And that's when like the new UCB Herald teams would be announced, was like February, March. That's when they would like debut on your new team. So there were all these people who had like, I think why they did it was because everyone only got one show. So there's people who had been trying to get on Herald Night for like 6 years, got on, had one show, and then the theater closed.
Yeah.
And so they were like, we're going to do Herald Night on Zoom, I think for people to like get more shows. But it was like, I did one and was like, I'm no longer on Herald Night, guys. Sorry, I can't do this. Like, this is so bad. So there was an audience, but you couldn't hear them laugh because that would fuck up the audio of the Zoom. I don't even remember how we did it because this was like at this point 5 years ago, but I just remember like the second it started being like, I don't want to do this, and knowing it had to go for 20 more minutes. And I was like, this is like a hell beyond hell.
To do improv and not even be able to hear laughter, it's just like, it is the worst thing I can imagine.
No,
it's
it was
the worst thing I
really
can
bad.
imagine.
And to see yourself.
God,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right,
you're seeing
right.
yourself do it. It was really tough.
in
It was,
your
like, really
bedroom.
tough.
It's like too sad. It's the saddest thing I ever heard.
Yeah, everything about it was really bad.
Wait, was that what ended it for you, Jake? Were you like, no more improv from now on?
No, I did. Well, here's the embarrassing thing is I still do like improv. I just don't have time to do it anymore. Like, I don't have time to be on a team. But like, if a friend asks me to do an improv show and I'm free, like, I will go do it. Like,
Yeah.
I do still have fun doing it, but it takes so much time. Like, people who are on UCB teams are there like 3 nights a week. I can't do that. I have too much stuff going on.
Right.
So yeah, it's sort of just by the time like the theaters all reopened, I kind of had too much of a life to go.
I mean, that's sort of the goal.
Yeah. It was a good thing. It was a good
the
thing.
goal.
It was a good thing. Yeah, it was a good thing.
Yeah, well, we were talking off pod, peripherally dated a guy who was obsessed with getting on a
You
Herald
didn't
team.
peripherally date him. Sorry, just
He
to add
peripherally
in
was
there.
part of the.
He
Yeah,
was peripherally part of UCB, but I dated him for like
You
3
truly
years.
dated him, yeah.
But also, I think that's what happened to him is he finally got on a Herald team, and then the pandemic happened. And
I actually know for a fact that that is what happened. Because I know who he is.
So
Yeah.
hard, yeah,
Yeah,
to hear.
I know.
Wow,
Shout out to that ex, if he listens.
I don't think so.
I
would hope not.
I would hope not.
I will say one thing to you, Jake, and I don't know if I'll leave this in for the pod, but when we broke up, it was a very bad breakup. And
Okay.
part of what I told him in the breakup is I thought he was bad at improv. It was the meanest thing I could
She's the
think
meanest
of.
thing she could think to. It was the
Did
thing
you
that would
believe
hurt
it
him.
though?
Okay.
That's because that is what I'm curious about. Did you
I
believe that?
do. I thought he was very good at like game and like moving scenes along. Like he was a good person to have
These
on
are the
your
exact ways someone describes
team.
someone on improv they don't think is funny.
Right,
This is
yeah.
so funny.
Well, I didn't think he was like particularly funny. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
think.
just like a core tenet for improv, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I think he was smart, but not funny. And so I did ultimately believe that, but it was very mean to say to someone whose whole world was improv.
Yeah.
I didn't take it well.
Sure.
Well, yeah. You didn't take it great. But,
Yeah.
you know, he didn't do it great. So,
Exactly.
So there's that.
wow. To think of the meanest thing you could say in a breakup and it be that is really beautiful, actually.
The
I
meanest thing you
know.
can think of is you're not good at improv.
Yeah.
I know.
You're not smart, you're not cool, you're not attractive, you're not good at improv.
But what's harsh about that is it is like it's not it's somewhat objective. Do you know what I mean? Like cool is subjective, but like when I watch you, you're bad at this has such like a subjectivity to it. And it's also every performer's worst fear is that the audience thinks they're bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is like truly
Yeah.
at the core of every performance is the fear that like people will think this is bad.
Yeah.
And
But
so
also, it's about your own insecurities because if someone looked at me dead in the eye as they were leaving me and they said, "You're a bad actor," I'd be like, You're trying to hurt me right now. I'm the
Sure,
best actor of my
right.
generation. I would know.
Sure. No, I know what
So-
you mean. Yeah.
I hope that he had that wherewithal and understands that I was just lashing out.
And he is a therapist now, I think, from the internet.
Oh God, everything's gonna get believed. But yeah,
Why?
Yeah, no,
It's
keep it in.
Keep it in.
And yeah, we think he might be a therapist. Jake, if you can or cannot confirm, if you know.
I don't know, but I will be researching that.
Yeah. And therapists can do improv.
I'm sure a lot of them do, and a lot of them have. There were so many people
One
in
of the
those
scariest
classes.
moments of my life. I will never forget this. One of the scariest moments of my life was I was in therapy and this is when I was like deeply addicted to UCB. And I was like, she was like, "How was your week?" And I was like, "Oh, I got a call back for Herald Night auditions." And she went first round or second round. And I was, and like my blood went cold and I went first round. And she goes, "Do you do a full Herald in that?" And Nicole's bracing. She's literally so upset. And I was like, yeah. Like it was like one of the scariest moments of my life.
Oh my God.
She was in the mix.
Oh no.
At first I thought she was in the mix, but then I think maybe she had just seen other UCB
She was,
people.
yes.
That's what you're telling yourself to feel better. She was in the mix.
No, could you imagine?
To take no, I don't want anyone knowing anything about what I'm doing. I don't want anyone.
I know.
It's
So scary.
Yeah. I had a therapist ask if she could come to like something it was like a film screening. And I was like, no. It's
Oh
nice
my
that
God.
she asked. It didn't
No, it's
just-
not nice that she asked.
Yeah.
Wait, why'd she want to come?
I don't know.
Do you still see that therapist? No.
No.
Yeah. That's a long gone. Okay, good.
Wow.
Yeah, I think therapists should not be coming to your short film screenings, your stand-up, your any activities you have going on.
Here's a question I don't know the answer to. Like
Okay.
I don't have a therapist right now, but if I did, I should. But like if I have a therapist and someone were to be and their friend was like, "Hey, come to this show with me." And it was like my show.
Mhm.
Are they so then they in their head are like, "I shouldn't go to that show. I'm that person's I'm Jake's therapist." Are they allowed to say that to their friend or do they have to come up with a lie? Are they allowed to tell someone that they're my therapist without me saying that? Is that a HIPAA violation?
I think that in theory they are not supposed to say, but like
so it's probably like a
if
coded
it's your
language of like,
best friend-
I can't. Yeah. Or it's like they say it without saying it by being like, I can't go to that. And then they're like,
Right.
"Oh." It's probably that. I guess it's
Yeah.
probably that.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I had never thought about that.
I'm sure it happens to people. They have to be like, I
One time-
can't attend that event, that sporting event.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
To be a therapist is interesting. Should I do it? I'm looking for a career change.
I don't
Listen,
think so.
all you have to do is do like one undergrad or one grad school on Zoom, and you're a counselor.
Yeah, it's a pretty.
Huh.
You could be a shaman.
Yeah, maybe I should be.
We could look into what the certifications are for that.
Yeah, that's I think maybe an easier lift.
Yeah. Life
Potentially.
coach. Life coach, you don't have to do anything.
Well, you don't.
Yeah, that's a little
So-
scary though.
Yeah, but I need money. What's scarier, being a life coach, a shaman, or a therapist?
Life coach is the scariest for sure.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
If someone tells me, like, and I'm sorry if this is offensive to anyone listening, but truly, like, if someone tells me that they see a life coach, that is like a little bit of a to me. Like,
I agree.
would rather you say you went to a shaman. Like shaman, I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Went like what? Oh, cool. Like no problem. Therapist or life coach spooks me a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's
Okay.
that thing about like you're only supposed to take advice from people who have what you want, or that thing of like, why are you taking advice from people that like are in a shitty relationship? Why are you taking relationship advice from them, or why are you taking like job
sure,
advice from somebody who
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
have a job that
Totally.
you like or want? So someone would have to be
You're saying-
so like rich and hot and like the most successful actor of all time for me to have to like be taking any advice.
Right.
It would have to be Jennifer Lawrence, life
Yeah.
coach.
Totally. And that's ultimately called a mentor.
Yeah, or like a
Mhm.
friend even.
Yeah.
Maybe. But yeah, a mentor. Yeah. Yeah, mentor.
I think mentor. Yeah.
Okay, I need to go find Jennifer Lawrence's mentor and be her mentee.
No, Jennifer
There it
Lawrence
is.
is the mentor.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to find Jennifer Lawrence.
You need to find Jennifer Lawrence. If that's who
Probably.
you want to be.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
want to be
You,
Jennifer
who,
Lawrence.
you need to find who your Jennifer Lawrence is.
Mm.
Who's your Jennifer Lawrence? Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Wow, is Jennifer Lawrence your Jennifer Lawrence, Nicole?
I mean, I'd certainly listen to what she had to say.
She definitely, yeah, like she's definitely someone, yeah, I would
She
take her
definitely
advice for
has
sure.
stuff to say that I would be listening to. Yeah.
Wow, Jake, who's your Jennifer Lawrence?
I mean, Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know that I'm like any more or less than you guys, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's the best, I guess. She's the best there is.
Hasn't she won? No, she's only won one Oscar. She's been nominated a bunch, right? Yeah, she won for Silver Linings.
But
Definitely.
didn't she win
but
when she
didn't
was a kid? Or
No, she was
No,
nominated.
she was nominated for Winter's Bone when she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like 20 or something. But yeah,
Why do I feel like she's won twice? I don't know. But yeah.
I was thinking she's won twice, but I think I was thinking of Emma Stone because Emma Stone's won twice. Yeah.
And I was,
She's an option for mentor as well, I guess.
I would go
then.
to Emma because Emma's also producing. I mean, Jennifer's producing too, but
Mm.
Emma's producing more.
And that's
Yes.
important to you.
Yeah, I guess so. Or there's
mean-
just like more info there. I don't know.
okay, Jake. We have a
Yes.
question on this podcast that we ask the people who are on the podcast that we call guests.
Please.
The question is, how were you brainwashed? And by that we mean, what growing up did you think was real, true, based on either media, your upbringing, that you have since learned is now brainwashing?
Okay, I thought about this for a long time, and the thing that I landed on is basically something that I've been thinking about since me and my friend had a very long conversation on mushrooms for like 2 hours about this in a cabin upstate, which is I think I was, and she felt the same way. I think we were brainwashed to think divorce is normal.
Ooh.
Okay. And what I mean by that is like, I think the way society, like our current script for like what we tell kids when their parents are getting divorced is like, everything's fine. This isn't bad. Like your parents both still love you equally. No one did anything wrong. It's like, we're just dad's moving to a different house and like everything's fine. And it's like, that is not true. Like it is, you know, like that is like 99% of the time, like not true. Like usually someone's upset. A lot of times there's like, you know, whatever it is, infidelity, money, like all these things. And like, but children are told like none of these things because we don't think kids can handle these. But I think kids actually can sense that something's wrong. And so they create these other narratives around it. And I think like that is kind of intensely brainwashing, is this idea that you're being told one thing and part of your mind like knows it's not true. So you have to create a new reality to make like what you're being told possibly true.
Completely. Yeah, that is so smart. I think, yeah, no, they're not like sitting down a 9-year-old and being like, well, your dad fucked the girl at the office.
No,
and-
exactly.
And I'm pissed about it. And so instead they're just
Yeah.
like, we're going to be living in different places. And yeah, the kid can sense that something is wrong, but
Yeah.
but there's got to be an age appropriate way to say like, trust has been broken in our marriage.
Yes, or like that there's money problems, or like
Yeah.
dad is deciding that he wants to do X, Y, and Z and is kind of abandoning us. Like there's like softening the blow of how terrible something might be like in the moment for a child. I think we actually do like irreparable damage. Or like not irreparable, but like significant. Like I think it's like a lot. I didn't think about it a lot like in terms of my perception of relationships. And like also, by the way, sorry that I'm like immediately brought up this topic. It's like not funny. But it's like I feel like my friend and I were talking about it because like my friend, we similarly like have like similar narratives around our parents' divorces and like similar ages and stuff. So we were talking about a lot. And it creates like fundamental like okay, for example, like we were told the language that was used for like us was like mommy and daddy just like don't love each other, like fell out of love, like that it's this thing that like and so up until I'm not joking, like I didn't have this realization until we were having this conversation, which was like 7 months ago. I like thought that like that was something that could happen to you, kind of like a cancer diagnosis. Like it is something like instead of it being the idea, like I had the realization where I was like, marriage is the commitment to like continue to do this thing and you are in control of it. And like it was a decision that like XYZ my parents did to not, you know what I mean? Like it isn't this thing that befalls you. Does that make sense? And that was
100%.
like fundamentally something that I have believed for the last 5 years was like that this thing can befall you that then would force you to abandon your kids, leave your place. Like, and it's that it's not your fault, but and that you also can't prevent it. Like that was like something I like profoundly believed in the way of like brainwashing where it wasn't like a conscious thought. It was like a core in the way that I believe the sky is blue. Do you know what I mean? It was just like how I thought the world was. And then I had the realization that that is just like my perspective because of how things were framed for me as a kid. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, no wonder I'm single. Like, because like I'm in a, you know what I mean? Like it was like a huge paradigm shifting realization for me.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can just fall out of love one day and it just happens and it's no one's
And it's
fault.
no
We
one's fault,
just,
and it's
yeah.
okay, and it's sad, but that's okay. We move on, and it's like,
Right.
no, someone fucked up, and they
Right.
chose
Right.
to, and they like
Right.
cognitively are choosing to not do this thing anymore, and it is not like beyond their control. It is like
Right.
something that they are choosing to do.
Right.
Makes sense?
It does.
Completely.
Yeah.
Are your parents
Completely.
divorced? Are you guys' parents divorced?
My parents are divorced.
Mine are
Jenny's
not.
are not.
Okay, cool.
But
Congratulations.
my
Jenny.
yeah, huge shout out to Jenny. My parents though got divorced when I was 6 months old. So
See, this
like,
is really interesting to me. I was thinking about this. This is where it
different-
gets really interesting because it's like not being conscious for like the actual happening of it. I wonder what the shift is there.
yeah, it's so different. Like, and then my dad remarried. Well, they both remarried, but then my dad had 2 daughters with my stepmom, and then they went through a divorce when I was in college, and like my stepsisters were in middle school, younger.
I went through
Like-
this exactly too, where, yeah.
To see it from that age was so, it just opened up. Each thing comes with its own set of shit. And I think it really is so important about the age you were when it happened. Like it
100%.
is
100%.
what kind of trauma you get out of it.
Yeah, totally.
How old were you, Jake?
7.
Yeah.
How it was right the way I have to do this every time. It was right before 9/11. So it's I have to do it from that. So I guess I was, if it was an 01, I would have been 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I was 8.
I know. It's like, what? How do you explain it to a kid? How do you?
No,
Yeah.
that's why we were
explain
talking. That's why me and my friend were talking about it for so long, because it's like, it also is like an unsolvable problem.
it? Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it is just like to the point where at one point we were like seriously talking about like, is the solution that if you have kids, you literally have to stay together until they're adults? Like, is that the only morally correct way to do it? Like, we were literally talking about this. We were like, I don't know what the solution is. Like, I think, and I don't like blame my parents for how they handled it with me, because one, they had no way of knowing that this would be the outcome of it. You know what I mean? And also like, no matter what kind of upbringing you had, part of your adulthood is going to be unpacking your childhood and like figuring out how to overcome the things you have from it. So it's like, this is, you know what I mean? But we were like, literally, how, if a divorce is, like, how do you frame it to children in a way that is not traumatic, either like traumatic by giving them all the details that they probably are not ready to like,
Right.
understand or commit, but also if you don't give them any, which is what happened with me, it creates a different trauma of like, things don't make sense. And so you have to
Yes.
build these realities that make it make sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've heard too from people like, with the, we just fell out of love, we're just not in love with each other anymore. Then kids can be like, okay, well, are you gonna fall out of love with me? Will you
I
not love me,
literally,
your
I
child,
think
anymore?
it's like the worst thing you can tell a kid. Like now
Yeah.
that I've like, once I had this realization, which again, I'm 32, happened like 6 months ago. I was like, oh, like I have lived in fear of this thing
Yeah.
that isn't necessarily real. But because of
Mhm.
how this
Right.
was framed for me my entire life, I've never questioned it.
Yeah.
And it like leads to a lot of like, it also creates a framework of like thinking that you are not in control of your own self.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
aren't like, obviously, like you experience emotions outside of your own control. And like you can't completely control yourself as like an ego, super ego, but like you are in control of how like what the consciousness of those three things do together. Like, and you
Mhm.
can make decisions. And that was like, I think has also led to me like not, it was like a healthy thing to realize in life. Like, oh, I'm more in control of my life than I think I thought I was.
Totally.
Yeah. I feel like because I'm reading, various parenting books, and the pendulum, it was very, very gentle for a while, like coddling. And now it's sort of swinging back. It seems to just like talk to them like they're people. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
don't celebrate them too much.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like obviously punish them too much. Like their bad behavior is not their fault.
Right. Right.
So let's like, what's that sort of middle ground of like, you're a baby and I must always protect you, to, spanking, corporal
Yeah.
punishment, to now. It's like, maybe if we just tell them like it is. But jury's still out on if that one works. But
It also, but part of what's fucked up is like the telling it what it is. It would also, because what we're also not kind of talking about is like sometimes the reason these lies are happening is because the parents don't want to admit to themselves or to anyone else what they're doing.
Right.
Right. So it's like this narrative is also being spun for them for their own like psychic wellness.
right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's all about it all comes back to awareness. It's like, yeah, divorces don't just happen. You're not just like, oh my God, like this thing, we found ourselves here and now we're being
Yes.
divorced. It's like, yeah, lots of things were either ignored or not talked about or decisions were made. Like things happen to get us to this point. So yeah, if the couple themselves are not in touch with all of that shit that happened, how can they try to explain it to their kids? Like it's impossible.
Right.
And like now, you know this thing now too, where the parents will keep the kids in the home. That this thing happens in divorces, where instead of like mom's house and dad's house, it's like the kids' house. The kids stay in the house, and then mom stays a week in that house, and then dad stays a week. Like, so we don't uproot the children, which is like so bizarre to me.
I'm sorry. I'm like literally just stay married. Like I can't. Like I don't know. Like I don't know. Like it literally makes me feel crazy. Like every time I think of a solution, I'm like, I guess just stay married. Like I'm sorry. Like, and not that I think my parents like should have or could have, but like it all makes me feel crazy.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's very hard. Gosh, I'm like, how do I? I'm just thinking of.
I know.
my
I didn't know you were
child.
I didn't know you were a new parent when I was like, this is what my brainwashing is going to be. So it's very funny that it's like,
No, and Nicole is too. We had a pregnancy pact that worked,
It
and now we
worked.
both have
Wow.
children.
We did have children together. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you. It's
Thank
not
you.
weird. It's beautiful. Yeah. How do you talk to them? What are we supposed to do with them? I guess but whatever we do, you're right, Jake. They're just gonna like something is gonna occur in their childhood and we
Right.
can't control it, and they will just go to therapy or a shaman or I can't remember the other thing.
I mean, I think that's like the brutal truth of parenting is that you are the source of things that your parents your children are going to in their adulthood have to like unlearn or process or like recontextualize just by the nature of like having a human life. But like it is such like this specific brainwashing thing has like really been like a mind blower for me recently.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were sort of like, having this moment of realization. And
Yeah.
it's always good.
The reason my friend's been thinking about it is because she's a social worker. So now she works with children where sometimes like the parents are doing like really fucked up shit or like being really neglectful. And she's like, I don't know how to like tell this to kids.
Right.
Like, she's like, my knee-jerk reaction and a lot of the training, you can't, like, for example, this is a total hypothetical. Like, she didn't tell me this. I'm like making this up. But like, let's say it's like a situation where the dad is supposed to come visit and he got drunk and forgot. Like, let's say that's what it is. Like, I think all of us would be like, you would tell the kid like, oh, he got stuck in traffic. You know what I mean? Or like, oh, he's really sick. A lie. You know what I mean? But like, then eventually they will learn the truth. You know what I mean? What it is like. what is it more harmful to tell them a lie, or is it harsh but helpful to be like, hey, daddy, like, forgot? Like, what? Obviously, that's more
Right.
painful in the moment, but like, is there a benefit to like what that does in the long term? Because you're also not creating a picture of this person who isn't. You know what I mean? If you're kind of creating this culpability that like around like if a child has like a neglectful father and you're creating a narrative that he is trying really hard and the world keeps on stopping
Yeah.
him, that's creating a person who doesn't exist. So like, which is more
Right.
harmful? And I don't know the answer.
Okay, what we need to do is like that movie.
It's so funny. It's so funny that I didn't know you guys were both new parents because I'm literally looking at the two of you like staring into infinity outside of like thinking about this. Like Nicole is truly like,
No, I mean, I think that the real thing is like just be pretty sure about who you're marrying. You know, like
that's the thing. I mean,
I think-
obviously the prefer is that none of these conversations ever have to happen is like the goal.
yeah, but I think
Yeah.
you know people. Obviously, people are getting married later. People are. You know, it's
Yeah.
like that's why a lot of this divorces are happening is because of these fucking kids, babies, 22-year-olds were getting married. And how do you
know.
know? You don't know shit
I
about
know.
yourself. You don't know
I know.
anything.
And then having children, which like is
Right,
just
it's
like
so
such a pressure
stressful.
cooker. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so just everyone just be really sure you're not going to get divorced before you get married. And then
It's
you're
so
fine.
true.
No, what I was gonna say is, what was that movie, Three Identical Strangers, where they separated all the
yeah.
triplets and raised them differently?
Yeah.
That was the craziest documentary ever.
We need to do that, and then we
no,
can find
no,
out
we
what's
don't
better.
need to do that. No, that was so
One
bad.
of them died. It was really bad.
It was really bad, Jenny.
I know. Can you believe?
They shouldn't have
Yeah.
done that experiment. Don't do science experiments.
Spoiler alert for Three Identical Strangers, FYI.
Oh my God, that documentary was so good.
Yeah,
It was so good.
it's just so.
But yeah, don't
so
experiment
satisfying.
on twins. It's bad.
No, this is all I think about is all the hard life things. I want someone smarter than me to give me the age appropriate way
I
to explain it.
know.
It's like, okay, if a grandparent dies when they're 5, say it this way. If we get divorced when they're 12, say it this way. Like, someone write that book.
I know. That's so true.
Yeah, and then someone collect it so that I don't have to read all the books. You know,
Right,
someone
right.
make
No, it's
one.
sort of one handbook. Yeah, that's what I'm envisioning. Is
one
one handbook
handbook.
where you go to like the death chapter and then it's like
And
age
then it's,
1,
like, broken
age 2,
down by
age 3,
age.
age 4.
Yeah.
That's what needs to
Yes,
happen.
like what to expect, the format of what to expect, but life events.
Yeah.
but trauma.
What to expect, trauma edition. Yeah, okay. All right, Nicole.
It is just crazy
Um,
when you think about it. Like, I think that is like, again, insane thing to say to like two new parents, but it's like, it is crazy that the way you frame things to a child in their early life literally forms how they will perceive reality for the rest of their life. And that is, you guys are like, I regret booking him on the podcast.
I know I keep like being like, when do they have memories? Because our children are still under 2. So I'm like,
Right.
at some point that switch is gonna happen. I'd love to just be like, today's the day. Today's the day memories start. So I can be on my very best behavior.
How old is your guys' earliest memory?
I think 3.
3.
Okay. Mine's 2.5.
Oh, fuck, that's soon.
Soon, Jake.
What do you remember from 2.5, Jake?
I remember going to the hospital when my sister was born. And like that's how I know it was exactly 2.5.
Yeah.
Because that's right. We're literally exactly 2.5 months apart, 2.5 years apart. So I went to the hospital and like saw her in the hospital and saw my mom. So like and I kind of vaguely remember my mom being pregnant. So I think like I do have a few kind of flashy memories from earlier than that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's coming up for us.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good to keep in mind. Good to keep in mind.
Totally.
What do you remember first, Nicole? Because I feel like it's got to be like a big thing that we first remember.
I remember being 3 years old at my dining room table being like, when am I going to turn 4? I feel like I've been 3 forever. That's what I remember.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I have like an early memory like that too of finding out like really early. It was like right after a Christmas, and I must have been like, like 3, 4, and being like, when does Christmas happen again? And they were like, a year. Like I remember like realizing because it's like I was like, they were like, I think it was probably like it must have been like my second or third Christmas because I remember it was kind of like the realization that it repeats. Like the first Christmas, you're like, I don't know what's gonna happen again. Then there's the second Christmas where it like happened. I probably like kind of So it's like, I think it was probably like around 3 or 4 when I was like, when does Christmas happen? And they were like, well, remember when it happened last time? And I was like, yeah, halfway through my life, like my
Right.
entire perception of time.
Yeah, right.
It's like that is so, I remember thinking like how unbelievably long that felt. I was like, you mean like half of my entire existence is how long until Christmas happens again?
Until I
You
can get
have
more
to be
Christmas.
fucking joking. I remember being like so crushed by that. And then they talk about how like, things come faster and faster each year because it's less of your life. But
Right.
Yeah. You're like, Christmas again? Wow. Okay. I remember my brother being born, but he's 3.5 years younger than me. And I
yeah.
definitely remember the preschool I went to at 3. Like I have memories of that
Mhm.
institution.
That's
So
interesting. Yeah. I remember preschool.
and you're, I
But-
think 3, right? Because we do 3K pre-K.
Yeah.
Or is that just New York? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I was 3 there
Yeah.
at some point. So yeah, oh gosh, Nicole, we don't have much time before the memories happen.
I know to
Yeah,
figure
they're kind of like-
everything out.
Well, my son, remember I trapped him in a room and told him to nap just now, and he
No,
didn't
I think
want
he'll
to.
be fine. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get over that with a shaman if that's keeping him up at night.
I know.
I also read, prior to having children, there's a book called "It Didn't Start With You" about generational trauma, and it's
Sorry to laugh. Sorry to laugh.
No, it's so real.
Yeah.
And there's some like very woo-woo stuff in there of people who like have trouble sleeping because they feel like they can't breathe or something like that. And then they find out like a third uncle of theirs died drowning. Do you know what I mean? And there's
See
like
that?
a belief.
Okay, I know I said you can't go too far with me with the woo, but here's my question about how like generational trauma works. Because like I obviously like I came to understand generational trauma as like the concept of like obviously like patterns move through families, so it happens generationally. But
Yeah.
I then also hear that there's sort of like, but there's also like biological component of like actually like and that's the part I don't really understand. I'm not saying I don't believe it, I just don't understand it. Sounds scary.
Definitely. Yeah, there were several examples of stuff like this in the book of people who had like some sort of disorder and then they found out. But I also think there's something like placebo effect about that of like, oh, there's a reason why I have this behavior and that helps you feel ready to address / move on. So maybe it's just like,
Sure.
No,
That makes
but you
sense.
still have the behavior. It doesn't.
yeah,
invent
but
the
if you're like, well,
behavior.
my uncle drowned, oh, that's why this happens to me, and then they start
They
feeling
can release
relief.
it.
Interesting.
That was
Huh.
a horrible example. There are better examples than the third uncle that drowned, but there are things that happen to generations of people. I don't know, or like a mom who had a traumatic birth. I don't
Well,
know.
I know there's a lot of like health, like, but there's like a lot of like health things that like can be traced back to like the Irish potato famine, like where it's like,
Mhm.
oh, that changed like the biology of like a human to, which that makes sense to me.
Yeah, there's
But I
probably
guess
more
when it's, like-
science.
Yeah, like
involved than
the
I
yeah.
know.
It's definitely science based, and it definitely does happen, and we definitely don't understand it, but we do definitely believe it. I believe it.
I know. Yeah, I'm certainly not about to come on a podcast and be like, I don't believe in generational trauma. Like, are you joking?
Okay, and that's what we're clipping, and
Oh,
that's
perfect.
what's going
Yeah.
out.
Wait, okay. Have you also heard about how young toddlers and our children are just starting to speak, but I'm hopeful this will happen for us, Nicole, where they remember their past lives or
Yes,
like
I hope.
speak.
I've heard
Very
about kids remembering their
specific
past
things.
lives.
I hope that happens to
I
me.
know, I would love our kids were like, oh, when I was at the saloon with Carl.
I know. It's so
That.
crazy. There's the whole thing about kids remembering past lives, and then there's also do you guys have the thing where you have memories of being able to fly? Do you know about this phenomenon?
I have heard of
No.
this phenomenon. I don't have this one.
Okay.
But I respect you if you have it, Jake.
I kind of do.
Okay, say more.
Well, I remember feeling like I could that there was like I remember I would have very vivid dreams where I had figured out this way to like kick my feet that would allow me to float, like defy gravity and like float in the air. And I have like very physical memory, like it's a physical memory that I have being able to do it. But I do think it was a dream that I would have, like a recurring dream I would have. But I like when people talk about having these very vivid memories of being able to float or levitate, I'm like, I have that too, but I do think it was just a very vivid dream I was having as a child. Obviously, because I don't think I ever had the power to defy gravity. But I
But is
relate
the
to it
idea
when
that
people
we
talk.
did?
There are a lot
Yeah.
of, it's sort of like a Mandela effect thing where there's like a bunch of people on the internet who claim like, I swear to God, when I was a kid, I could float, like that I could levitate alone in my room and would do it all the time. And I'm like, I had that too, but I just think it was dreams where I could do it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I could levitate back then.
Jenny, you have any flying memories?
No,
deep
but
down?
I did have dreams of flying.
Well, I know. I mean, it's a classic thing.
Yeah. I also have a lot of memories of speaking to my younger sister that when I think about it now, there's no way she could speak yet.
Whoa, that's cool.
So I'm like, was I projecting voice onto her? Was I like in my broken language kind of thinking I was communicating more than I was? Like, I'm curious about that, but I definitely have met because we shared a bedroom. So I remember like talking to her, but I'm like, she literally was like not like she was like 6 months old. Like there's
You were
no way I
like
was speaking
playing
to her.
Barbies with her. Maybe she was the
Yeah.
Barbie.
Yeah, sort of. Maybe that's what it was. But like I feel like in my mind I was having like full conversations with her.
But maybe you were in your minds.
Maybe I spoke baby. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Mentalism.
yeah, that's what they say about the
Twins.
so I have twins. Huge reveal, and
Oh my God.
they do say that they are like delayed with language because they can just communicate
Oh, I've heard about
internally
this. Yeah,
for a while.
I fell down many, I'm sure you have as the mother of twins, but I've fallen down so many rabbit holes about like weird twin stuff. Like those twins those two Black women that were twins that had like their own language and stuff. Do you know about them? Oh my God, I'm obsessed with them. I'll find it and email you guys the Wikipedia article about it. But like, they were these twins. They like just lived this like really bizarre life. I can't remember every detail of it, but basically they committed a lot of crimes at what was part of it. So like, and they ended up at some point they were like institutionalized. And then there's this crazy thing where like one of them was like, or they said to like a therapist, like, we've decided that one of us has to die because like us being twins is not sustainable in this society. And we've decided like, Amanda's gonna die. She was like, I'm gonna be the one that dies. And then the next day she died of a heart attack. Died. They're like, we've talked about it and Amanda's gonna go. And then the next day she died of natural causes.
Whoa.
If you don't send us this Wikipedia article,
I'm gonna have to find it. I'm gonna have to find it. But like, yeah. And there's video of them. I think they killed like one man and they couldn't really like explain why. Hold on. I don't even, oh God.
Where's
sorry.
this movie?
I know.
Come
I know.
on.
I think they were British too. I think they were identical twins. I think they were Black women in England. I think this is a thing. Hold on.
How to get this made.
Want this so bad.
We
Well, not
need
for my like. I hope my twins don't do that, but I'm interested in learning about it. I mean,
we got to get Michaela Cole to option this so that we can have it made.
I'll be twin
Is this it?
consultant.
No, this is something different.
We find out this is a dream, Jake.
Yeah, this is a flying dream.
I did. Okay, hold on. This is not this. Hold on.
It's okay. You know,
We'll do it later. I like derailing the podcast now, but I do want to find it for you. Oh,
Yeah.
I found it. June and Jennifer Gibbons
okay,
were twin sisters in Wales. They became known as the silent. Oh, this is what it was. They became known as the silent twins since they only communicated with each other.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they
bookmarked.
spoke the death of one of them into existence.
I really hope I didn't make that part up.
I'll be doing a reading later today.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I can't wait to learn what your twins are up to in their minds.
I know the amount of times that they'll just like.
Wait, here, hold on. According to one of them, the girls had a long-standing agreement that if one of them died, the other must begin to speak and live a normal life. During their stay at the hospital, they began to believe that it was necessary for one of them to die, and after much discussion, Jennifer agreed to be the one to sacrifice her life.
How do people know this though?
And then shortly thereafter died of acute inflammation of the heart. There was no evidence of drug poison in her system.
That's crazy. That's science. Science.
Unexplainable.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you have to do. There's been documentaries about it. I watched them. This was years ago that I watched all these, but you have to. It's like the craziest story.
Great. There's a documentary. Even better.
There was a new one that came out in 2023 that I haven't watched. Wait, sorry, I
Oh.
totally derailed this podcast, but this is
No, the listeners are gonna want to watch that
Yeah.
documentary for sure.
no. It's the craziest twin story ever.
I hope
They didn't kill anyone. They just did some arsons. So
Oh, that's
I made that part.
fine.
Yeah, they
Okay,
did some
good.
arsons. Yeah.
The Silent Twins. That's the name of the documentary. Okay, see you tonight.
there.
Okay, wow. Well, should we do our final segment, play our final game?
Let's
so
do
that
it.
Nicole can go to her shaman. Okay, so Jake, what is the game? It's called casting. We're gonna cast ourselves on each other. Everyone's gonna cast everyone on this call as a category of our selection. You know, famous example, Spice Girls. Nicole is scary because she's got a gorgeous sort of zebra print. One could say, what's happening here? This is a gorgeous print. I am sporty because I'm, you know, more basic. And Jake, I'm going to give you baby, just classic, pretty cool.
Wow, thank you.
So yeah, that's just an example. Is there anything you've been dying to cast, or should we come up with something as a family?
The first thing that came to mind to me was pastries. But does it have to be people?
No, it doesn't. And what it does have to be is pastries. Let's do it.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Okay, so let's all go in our minds for a second and think about what pastries we are and each other are.
I think I know.
I know.
Okay,
too.
you go first because I'm kind of like, okay, I want to hear your thinking.
Okay. So Nicole, I gave you almond croissant because you're way more fun than a regular croissant. No offense. When I go into a bakery near my house, I'm always eyeing that almond. I say, fuck the plain, give me the fun, give me that sweet, sweet almond goo that's in the middle.
Yeah.
And give me that nutty, nutty flavor. I feel like you're a nut, you're gorgeous, you're more fun. And that's why I gave you almond croissant. Now, Jake, I gave you cinnamon roll. A cinnamon roll is my favorite. It's my favorite.
It's my favorite too.
I have them for Christmas morning with my family every year. They're nostalgic. They never go out of style. They are here to stay. You know, Brooklyn pastry shop, cool, be damned. A cinnamon roll will always be here. And so will you, Jake.
Wow, thank you.
And myself, I gave myself what I call an elephant ear. Now, what is that actually called? I forget.
I think it's called that.
It's called an elephant ear.
Those are so good.
I love them so much. You're such a good on the go one, you know, because they're hard. You know, it's not gonna be quite as messy as say a cinnamon roll or almond croissant. No offense to you guys. This one's a little more intact. I love the shape. I love my shape. I love elephants. You can't go wrong. So that's where I landed on pastries.
That's an amazing round of pastry casting. I'd be happy to go next.
Yeah, please.
I gave myself a croquembouche, which is the tower of cream puffs. It just felt very like a croquembouche. It's very ornate and extravagant, and you know, it's like, do I want one cream puff? No, I want a tower of 40. That's Nicole. So that's where I landed for myself. I gave my friend Jenny a cheddar scallion scone. You're savory to me more than sweet. You are my best friend. If I see you on a menu, I want to eat you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got a fun personality. And I gave Jake eclair ultimately because I just feel that it's a classic. It is a lot of people's favorites. And, you know, Jake is a very famous comedian and is a lot of people's favorites. And it has not just pastry, but chocolate and cream. And it's an extra indulgent treat. And that's how I feel about Jake.
Wow. That was so nice. Mine are like really just went on like vibes of like I stared at you guys and I was like, what is coming to me?
Perfect.
And what came to me is, okay, Nicole, I don't know if this is too left field. I was picturing like a za'atar spiced sort of like flaky pastry pinwheel. Do you know what I'm talking? Like sort of like like a za'atar croissant, but like done in like a circular, not like a crescent.
Absolutely.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I think it was it's just like it's kind of like, wait, oh my God, yes. You know what I mean? It's like you like it's that sort of vibe of like, oh my God, I love that, you know? And like bohemian dynamic, that was my vibe there. And then Jenny, you're very specifically, there's a bakery in, oh my God, what's that neighborhood called? Cobble Hill, like kind of down. Well, I think it's on Court Street. If you're walking down, called Le Paris Bakery, the French, I almost said Paris Baguette. Could you imagine if I was like this little bakery called Paris Baguette? No, I think it's called Le French Tart or something like that. I'll send it to you guys after. It's literally the fucking best. They do all French patisserie. They have a follow along because it's a little complicated. It's a strawberry cheesecake Danish croissant.
Whoa!
So it's like croissant with like 2 layers, strawberry jam, then like a Danish cheesecakey layer, and then croissant bottom. And then it is like, and then it's like slatted at the top, almost like a spinach and feta situation would be. Do you see what I'm saying?
Of course.
Like vented. It is so like, there's like a sweetness to it, but there's a little bit of like a savory cheesiness to it. And it's sort of like, it's just got layers. And like I think like, like it's like she didn't do improv, but she made a web series where she was adjacent to improv. There's just like a lot going on there. You know what I mean? So I think that's where I landed with you. And then for
me too.
myself, cinnamon roll is like one of my favorite. I think it's so lame because I'm a game guy, but I did go rainbow cookie.
Well,
I mean, it's a perfect
so
cookie.
good.
It's a perfect
It's
treat.
just so good.
Yeah.
I love, and I would love to think of myself in that way. Little nutty, gay, just classic. I love.
Absolutely. I mean, we should all be so lucky to be rainbow cookie, and you are
Yeah.
rainbow cookie.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
We
need
did
to go
it.
get a pastry now. Yeah.
I know. I'm like,
I know. I like need one.
Okay, well, we're gonna wrap this up so we can get pastries and go to our shaman appointment.
Yeah, you have
Whatever they
8
may
minutes
be.
to go get. Yeah.
Jake, thank you so much for doing our pod.
This was so fun.
Yes,
thank you for
thank
having me.
you.
Where can everyone keep up with you, follow you, go see you on tour?
Yeah. So if you're in England, I'm playing if this is coming out on Wednesday, then I start my England tour tomorrow. So I'm doing London, Brighton, Bristol, and Manchester. If you happen to be in England, come see me there.
Cool.
And then if you're in New York, I'm doing the Gramercy Theater November 12th. So come
Nice.
see me there, please. And then you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Jake W. Cornell.
Listeners, do it if you don't. You're going to have a great
Yeah,
time.
you already follow, but if you don't, you're gonna love.
Well, we love you. Thank
This
you
was
for
so fun.
doing the
Thank
pod.
Thank you.
Have a good shaman appointment.
Thank you.